I hope it answers your question. There is one question by Piyush.
Yeah.
So he's asking that, is there any other viable program for MSc Tech student? Yes, the MSc Tech student, they can apply for PhD program at UIT. So, and the PhD positions also are posted on job portal, because a PhD is considered as a job, and you have to, if you are interested for a PhD position in Norway, there is a job portal where you can look for the relevant position and you can apply via that. And again, that is a competitive process. Many applicants are there, and there will be interview process and selection criteria. And if you get the PhD position, the salary, since it is a job, the salary is quite good compared to any other PhD stipend or salary anywhere in the world.
Nirwan asked, can you please inform us about the PhD program available in UIT? And he specifically asked about distance PhD stipends, etc. There may be co-supervised PhD programs. That is a different thing.
Co-supervised PhD program. So I am co-supervising student from NIT Durgapur, but the student is registered at NIT Durgapur. The student can come here on some special exchange like 3 months, 4 months. There are students from IIT Delhi come to Tromsø to do part of their PhD time under a special exchange program, or in that case, there should be a fund under which stipend or whatever living cost can be covered. But there is no, in the whole Norway, there is no distance or part-time PhD program. Any PhD program in Norway is actually a job, and it is a full-time. And salary you get in a PhD is around 45 lakhs rupees per annum, roughly, and you pay taxes on it. So roughly 30,000 NOK, 28 to 30,000 NOK, and that is 3 lakhs to 2,80,000 rupees per month you can get after the taxes as your salary during your PhD program.
Let me elaborate a little bit further. So there are two types of PhD programs. One is a 4-year PhD program in which the student spends 25% of their time in education-related activities. Such 4-year PhD programs are PhD programs which are funded by UIT's own funds. Then there are 3-year PhD programs, and these 3-year PhD programs are only research-based PhD programs. There is no teaching component or no 25% of other obligations. You dedicate all your time for research. And these 3-year PhD programs are typically funded by research funding agencies which have given projects to the UIT, and then UIT spends it on these PhD students. The UIT funded PhD programs, the 4-year PhD programs are declared rarely. Like Dilip says, 2 to 3 PhD students per year under 4-year PhD program. These PhD programs are generally announced on jobnorge.no, which I am typing here again. But then there are these 3-year PhD programs, and these depend on the funds that the professors have from the funding agencies. These are the regular PhD programs. Typically, if you want to look for a PhD position, the first place to do it is on the website that I have listed in the chat. The other thing is to follow the research that is happening in that local environment. There might be open PhD positions with the professors on these external funds. The PhD program here requires 1 semester or 30 ECTS of coursework.
Rohit, are you there? Rohit Agarwal?
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Rohit.
Yeah. So like almost everything has been told by you and Krishna ma'am, but there are some things that you guys have missed, so I'll add those. So, like the first fear that everyone has while going there is that you would be alone. But that's not the case. Number of Indian peoples are less. I won't consider Indians, I would consider Asians, because the group that we have there is not only Indians. Uh, there are people from Bangladesh. I think Habib sir has also joined.
Yeah,
So,
Habib sir is also
from
there.
Bangladesh, and he is a professor in physics and technology, and so on. There are people from Nepal. There are people from Pakistan. So everyone is like a family, because I have been there when it was COVID, and like there was restrictions. You can't go outside. Even then, I didn't feel alone, and we used to communicate with everyone through Skype. So it was fun. That is one thing I wanted to add in all this. Apart from this, another thing I would like to add is that most of the people here, I am sure, apart from studies, they do extracurricular. English is not a problem. I joined a club there, volleyball club. So I played with them, and everyone there used to speak English. And the people who were from Norway also, from Norwegian, they were not from Tromsø. I didn't find single people in that group who were from Tromsø. So it's like very multicultural. I remember one guy had a tattoo with his name written in Hindi. And he was from, as far as I remember, France. Believe me, like every day there is a view for you. Everywhere there is a view for you. So these are some of the things that is very good. Plus, I have went out to walk at 12 p.m. at night. I have seen sun that time. I have went out to walk at 1 a.m. at night. So it's very safe. First of all, you can go out anytime. And one thing more I want to add is, wherever you go, doesn't matter if you know the people or not, they will say to you hi, and it is courtesy for you to reply hi. So this is something that I have experienced very new there, and it is a very good thing, because you can, if you want, you can start up a conversation and all. And another thing is that if you guys before coming here have researched like what is the life at Norway, how Norwegians are, definitely they are a little bit introvert, but once you get to know them, once you get in their circle, I don't think you would face any issues whatsoever in communicating with them.
Rohit, this is a very excellent overview, and yes, indeed, we missed on these points. Rohit, how was it about finding Indian groceries or Indian? Did you miss anything Indian specifically there?
So truth to be told, I was living with a postdoc, and he was a very good cook. So I never missed Indian food. Plus, with regard to Indian groceries, so there is a international market in the cities, like in the city center. So you can go there, you can purchase, you will find everything from Maggie to any, you name it, like you will get everything there. Yeah, they are costly, and anyways you are getting paid, so it won't matter much. So it is costly, but you will find everything there. There isn't any issues regarding food or something.
There are quite a few people who are fully vegetarian, and Rohit was staying with a postdoc who was a complete vegetarian. He still does not take any eggs. He is surviving well with his family. His family is also vegetarian. There are, of course, less options as compared to others, but survival and finding good variety of vegetarian options is not a problem. So surviving is not a difficulty. Participating in socializing because you are vegetarian is not a difficulty. You will only have limited options.
And safety-wise, Tromsø is very, very safe. So in general, the income level of everyone in Tromsø is very high. And you won't see a single police in the street, but still it is very safe.
Yeah, I have left my car unlocked and engine on for 2 hours. Rohit, do you remember when we went to Somorai?
Yeah.
I left my car open and engine running by mistake. I have come to India and Singapore trip for 1 month, forgetting to lock my door. So I can tell you an interesting incident. For example, we were very surprised one day when we saw some police walking outside and on the roads. Apparently, it turns out that someone reported a very small traffic accident, like the car ran into the sidewalk or something like that, and they thought that let's use this as a reason to go out and talk to people and do something rather than sitting in police station. So this is how bored the police here are. So Rohit asked me emotionally, which university do I connect better? I connect better to Indian School of Mines.
Yes.
The reason is that it was my first university experience, and this is where, for example, I made a very strong. I had to make a very strong decision to come to Indian School of Mines. I had to convince my family, so it was really special. Emotionally, I connect to ISM better, but UIT has not offered me any reason to not love UIT as well.
Yeah.
Rohit Agarwal also asks us another. So basically, it is continuation of the same question. In some of the respects, for example, because of the geological location of Tromso, you have to fly anywhere to be connected or to be able to access the other locations, generally speaking. But the thing is that the flights are very easily arranged and people travel all the time here. So this means that although international connectivity is geologically considered challenging, in practice it is not at all challenging.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. It was really helpful for all of us. And yeah, with that, we can conclude today's meeting.